Hey everybody, what's up? This is Ryan Hupfer, the HubPages Communicator of Awesomeness. So I want to give you a quick overview of what the new HubPages design looks like. If you haven't heard yet, we are overhauling the look of HubPages, and we think it's made many improvements on the past look and feel of the site. We've also added a few functionality elements, so I want to go over those real quick. The first thing that you'll notice here is that the home page is not drastically different, but there's definitely a different look and feel of this home page. You've still got basically the same type of messaging at the top, and down here there's some featured articles, which is pretty cool. So we'll be featuring great articles, great hubs that have been written here on the home page, which is always a nice feature. And then you'll see here at the bottom we've got featured topics, and these are now categorized by categories, not tags. So before, HubPages was pretty much separated into tags, and that's how we created our topics. But now we've really started creating or putting a huge emphasis on categories. So if you haven't categorized your hubs yet, this is a good time to go back into all your hubs and put them into the right categories so that they can be found on HubPages in the right spots. Another good thing to see over here is something we've added is news from the blog. So we've got different things from the blog populating over here so you can keep up with what's going on here at HubPages. And then we've got questions and answers, which have actually replaced requests, which I'll go over here in a minute. So let me log in here real quick. Before I do that, let me show you what the forums look like. So the forums have changed a little bit. There's now, here are all of the different sections, and here's all the latest activity. So we've noticed that a lot of people weren't really going down into the other parts of the forum, so this is kind of a way to add some attention and to let people know what's going on kind of in the other sections of HubPages. And if you want to go directly to the Hubbers Hangout and hang out there, you can still do that. So no big deal. And then here's a list of the most active people in the forums, which I think is a pretty cool feature. So now I'm going to log in, and I will show you what it looks like once you log in. It looks a little bit different, but not a huge change. So when you log in here, I'll go home, back to the home page. So you've got your Hubtivity, and then things are kind of just sectioned off a little bit differently here when you first log in. And once again, it's all categorized by the categories as opposed to topics, which we used to have. So if you want to see what the public profile looks like, it looks just a little bit different. So we've given more room for the profile so you can write out some stuff, and then we've created this cool little kind of slider that you can go through to go through hubs. And then these are some of my favorite topics. So, and these are listed by category. And then here's your Hubtivity. You can also search the content like you could before. And sorry about the runny nose here. I've got a little bit of a cold, so don't mind that. So let me show you, let's go back to the home page, and this is kind of what it looks like, and you get the Hubtivity, and then requests have now turned into Q&A. So pretty much the same functionality, just a little bit of a different naming, a method of naming it, but requests basically still act the same. Hubs, let me go into the top hubs here, and I'll show you what a new hub looks like. Let's do 10 most expensive cities in the world. That's a good one to look at. So you'll see it's a little more professional. Your tools up here have changed just a little bit, not much. But if you could tell, it looks a lot more professional, I think. A little bit cleaner. And then you got your related hubs over here, your tags, and all that stuff. And then search, this is a little different. So I'll search for cars on search. In search, now you can search hubs, you can search categories, you can search hubbers, you can search forums, you can search pictures, images, polls, you can do all kinds of stuff. Larry did a great job on that. So that is what search looks like. And then one other thing you should probably take a look at is when you go to by topic, it now splits it up into category, and each category now has a category page with featured articles, featured authors, ask a question, and all that stuff. So I hope you like the new design. This is just a quick overview. If you have any other questions, post something in the forum. And this is Ryan Hupfer, and I'll talk to you later. Happy hubbing!